Hi there, this is Alexa from Pro Tutorials, and today I'm going to talk about one of the best contact form plugins for WordPress, and I'm talking about Contact Form 7. And in this video I'm going to explain how you can install this plugin on your WordPress website, and also how you can edit the several features that come with Contact Form 7 so you can make a wonderful and amazing contact forms for your WordPress website. Anyway, if you still haven't liked my video, like my video and also subscribe and press the notification bell so you can receive my weekly video updates where I share with you plenty of tips related to self-publishing, online marketing, and sometimes I also like to do videos similar to this one where I talk about the plugins that I commonly use for my WordPress websites. Anyway, let's talk about Contact Form 7 and how you can install this plugin on a WordPress website. So for that, you simply log into your WordPress website, you go to your dashboard area, and you want to go to the plugin section and add new. And actually I did a video about this about 2 years ago where I talked about Contact Form 7, and I mean, not many options have changed since then, but they actually added a few extra features to this plugin, and in this video I'm going more in detail about them. So you want to search for Contact Form 7, you may want to go to more details, so you can go to the Contact Form 7 page and get more information about this plugin. Anyway, you can see that it already has over 1 million active installations. That's a crazy amount of installations, people are using this plugin. And in my past video, a few people left a few comments saying that they actually didn't enjoy this plugin, that there were better contact form plugins out there for WordPress. Honestly, I've been using this plugin for several years. I never had any kind of issues with this plugin. I like this plugin. It's simple for you to use. So I consider this a pretty good plugin. And you can see by the amount of reviews, I mean, it's hard for you to say that this plugin is bad. I'm not saying that it can't cause a few issues depending on mostly the issues that are caused depends on the theme that you're using. So you want to install, press install and activate. So what I was saying is sometimes you might have problems with some plugins because of the theme that you're using for your WordPress website. Sometimes it may cause conflicts and problems that you have with the specific plugin, but I never had any kind of issue using this plugin. So once you install this plugin, you can see that you have a new section over here which is called Contact. Actually, I must mention this plugin which is called Get Site Control. I did actually a review about this plugin, and this might be something that you may want to check out and see if you actually like this plugin. This is a plugin that comes with pop-outs, lead forms, surveys, live chats, WordPress plugin. This is a plugin that comes with all of these different features, and I'm going to leave a link on the description to my other video if you actually want to check out this plugin, because this is a pretty good plugin for WordPress. Anyway, let's talk about contact forms. So you can see that now I have a new section called Contact, and once I click on it, you can see that new options appear. So I go immediately to the dashboard section of Contact Form 7. You can see that I already have over here a contact form, and this is a pre-made contact form that comes with your installation of this plugin, and it comes with the standard options. I mean, it asks someone's email address, the topic that person wants to talk to you, and also the message that person wants to send to you. So it's a pretty standard contact form. Anyway, I'm going to actually to create a new one. Then you have this option called integration. Now you may want to add a reCAPTCHA option depending if you are constantly receiving a lot of spam through your contact form. If you are constantly receiving a lot of spam, you might want to use this option. Actually, I never had many issues with this. It's not an option that I use personally, but if you have, let's say, a big website, a lot of people sending you messages, it might be an issue that may eventually happen. So for you to integrate this on your contact form, you want to go to this link and you want to read the instructions that they provide inside of this page. And basically all you need to do is follow the steps that they mention along this page so you can have a reCAPTCHA into your contact forms. Anyway, let's create a new contact form. So I'm going to add a new one by pressing on this option. Okay, so now I have a new contact form over here, and the first thing I'm going to do is add a title to this contact form. So I'm just going to call it contact form. It can be my main one inside of my website, and I'm going to save this, and later on I'm going to show to you all of these options. But first I'm just going to save this contact form because I want to grab this short coding over here, and I want to create a new page over here. I want to create a new page for my contact form so I can show to you more in detail there's several options that come with this plugin. So I'm going to add this coding, this short coding, so I just copy it from here and add it over here, paste it over here, the coding, and you can see that I am in the test tab over here, and I'm just going to publish this page. And now I have a contact form, a really simple contact form with the standard fields. As you may see, it asks my name, email, subject line, and your message. And when someone goes over here, they can fill in this information, add the topic that they want to talk with you, and the message: hi, my name is Jordan, and I think you're fantastic. And I'm going to send this message to me because I can't say bad about myself, so I'm just going to send this message to me. And you can see that once I press send, this would be, of course, your visitor, but you can see that once I press send, I go to my email inbox, the one that is attached to this contact form, which is the one that I used actually for the installation of my WordPress platform. So you can see that I have this message that was sent, in this case by me, but of course this would be from one of your visitors. So it's really that simple. Now, this is a really standard contact form. This is, I mean, most people just want this, but if you want to do things that are more complex, or you simply want to add other fields, then you can simply do that. And you can go back over here, and you can see this is the coding that is being used at the moment for my contact form. So you can see, for example, this is label, your name. So this is the first field, your name. You can see it's exactly the same test. And then you have over here, this is the coding, which is in this case, this is a test tag. This is a tag. This is the test tag where you can fill, in this case, with your name, your visitor's name, of course. And you can add several tags if you want. So you can change this around and pretty much have whatever you want. So I'm going to explain each tag in detail. So you can use, if you want to ask a question, or if you want to put details about what you want your visitors to insert below, has information. You can have labels. You can write over here the test, and you can even ask, where do you live, for example. And always make sure that you close this label tag, and you close it just by adding this bar on the left side, just like this. And then you just want to grab a specific tag that you want to add over here. So I'm going to explain first the test tag, because this is the most standard one. And you want to click on this tag, and you can make this a required field. This means that this person will only be able to send this message to you if they actually fill in this specific box, okay? And this is the name of this tag. Default value is this test as a placeholder. And this is a schematic. This you actually need to have Schema install. This is another plugin that you can install, and it's one plugin that I actually recommend for you to install because it helps you a lot in preventing or you actually blocking great part of the common spam that you receive to your blog on a daily basis. But also, once you install this plugin, it will help you block a lot of the spam that you would receive to your, in this case, to your email inbox. So you can use this option if you have this plugin installed. So in this case, I'm just going to leave this field. ID is just basically an identificator of this tag inside of your contact form. Class attribute is something that I really don't use, and it's not an option that I consider that important. The option that I consider more important is this one, if you want to make this a required field or not. And then you just press insert tag, just like this. And then once you press save, and once I refresh this page, you can see that I will have a new field. Where do I live? Probably would need to give here a bit more spacing because this looks ugly this way. So I just give over here an extra spacing so this is not all in top of each other. So you can see that where do you live, and you just fill in this information. Now let's say that you want to limit the amount of characters that someone inserts inside of this field. So let's say that you want the number of characters, the maximum length will be, let's say, 7 characters. Okay, and let's say that you also want the minimal length. So you insert basically the same tag over here, or the same field, or whatever they call this, and you insert minimal or minim, and let's say that the minimal is 3. So it needs to be a word that contains at least three characters and a maximum length of 7. Then you press save, and once I refresh, you will see that if I insert over here this, you can see that I'm actually clicking on my keyboard, but I can't insert more characters than actually 7. And that is because I insert that specific coding that you saw previously. Then you have the email tab, which is basically the tab where your visitor will insert their email address. You can see that at the moment I already have this tag inserted. This is basically a required tag because of course you want that person to put their email address. But you can click on this tag if you want. And there's nothing special. You already have this as a standard option. You can also configure this using the. You can use this specific coding nearly in every single tag that you see over here. And also, for example, if you want to ask someone's email, or in this case, if they have a website, let's say that you want to ask that person if they actually have a website. So you go over here, tell me, or do you have a website? And then you just grab this URL option, and let's make this a required field. Actually, I'm going to make this a required field. This will be a question, and I'm going to put over here required, so that person will know that they need to fill in this information in order for them to send this email to me. So I'm just going to do this label, and actually this has too much spacing over here, and I'm just going to press save, and you can see that once I do that, you can see that now I'm asking this field, so this person needs to insert over here the website that they own. Then you can also do this option for tell. This is for if you want to ask that person's telephone number. Basically the same thing as you already seen before. You just need to insert this tag if you want to add this to your contact form. Date. This is something that you may want to add also, depending. Let's actually add this over here so you can see more exactly what exactly this is. It's not an option that I use much. Actually, I pretty much stick to the standard options. So this allows people to head over here a date if you want to ask something specific. For example, which year were you born? This might be something that you want to add depending on the information that you have inside of your website. If you, for example, have adult content, you probably want to have this field so you can see that this person is above 18. Are you when, or how old are you? So, how old are you? So this person may send you this information, or if you just want to know that person's aging, this might be a good option, which allows someone to choose when they were actually born. Let's say that I get to put over here 85 March 1. Okay, that is my date when I was born. So if you want to send me any gift when I do my birthday, you can do it. You already know my birthday date, whatever you call that. Anyway, let's go and let's check test area. The difference between test area and test is, as you saw before, with test you can only add a single line. Now with test area you can have all of this spacing. This is better when you want more information, or someone wants to ask you multiple questions and they want to add a huge amount of content that they will send to you so they can annoy you more. You can add this box over here, which is this option. So you just click on this option. Once again, the standard options as you already saw before, so nothing special there. So I'm just going to delete a few options over here because I don't need them all, and I'm going to show to you options that are a bit more interesting than the ones that I already showed to you now. So then you have the drop down menu, and the drop down menu is, well, a drop down menu, nothing special there, but you can click on this option and you can choose, let's say over here, let's head over here a question. Let's say what do you eat for breakfast? I'm having a hard time speaking in English. I'm not sure why, but I'm having a hard time. So what do you eat for breakfast? And you can do a drop down menu over here. This can be a required field if you want. And let's make it cereal as our first option. And you want to add an option for each line here. So let's say cereal, bread, and coffee. Fruit. Let's make this our third option. And as you can see, this is pretty self-explanatory. This first one, insert a blank item, has the first option. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to show to you next this option over here. But I'm just going to insert this tag over here, and I'm just going to press save changes, and I'm going to refresh this page so you can see that now I have this option over here that I can use. And if you want to change this, so you can add the other option, which I actually didn't show to you before, which is fruit, bread, whatever, and coffee. And you can use this option over here, allow multiple selections, and you can add this tag. And once I press save, you can see that it's a bit different. Your visitor is able to immediately see all the several options inside of the checkbox. I actually like to reuse this one more. This one is just looks better. Then you have radio buttons that you can also use. This is another multiple choice tag, and once again, it's pretty similar to the ones that I already showed to you. You just click on this option and you can add multiple choices over here. Now, this option I recommend for you to use if you don't have many choices for someone to choose from, because if you have a listing with a lot of choices, then the checkbox tag is just better for that. And I'm just going to show to you more exactly what this is. Just by refreshing here my page, you can actually see that this is what a radio button is. So you can use this option also. And actually I forgot to show to you one of these options, which is this one. Put a label first, a checkbox last. Basically, if you check that option, the only thing that would change is the position of this checkbox. It would appear over here as in the ending of your option. So option 1, then you would have a checkbox appearing. Basically just changes the position from your checkbox. Not a big deal. So I'm going just to delete this option here, and what I'm going to do is explain this option, which is acceptance. This is one of those options which you basically give a condition to your visitor, and they need to accept that condition in order for them to send an email to you. So let's say that your condition is do you accept not working during the weekends? And of course everyone will accept that, but let's say that this is the condition that you have. Do you accept not working during the weekend? Then you have these two options, which is kind of irrelevant. I really think that these options will confuse your visitors. I don't see a lot of usefulness in you using this. Make this checkbox checked by default. This means that the checkbox that will appear along this question will be immediately checked, and that person would need to uncheck it, or in this case they would need to leave it checked because it's already checked, and they would just send a message to you. It's not a big deal. I just prefer not to use this option, meaning that person would need to check this option, because this gives you an idea that this person actually read this specific question and they accepted your terms. And then you can also make this work inversely. So this means that if you have this first option chose, your box will appear checked, and in order for them to send a message to you, they would need to uncheck that box. It's not a big deal. I wouldn't use these options. I really don't see any kind of benefit in using them, but I'm just going to show to you more exactly how this looks like. So someone to send you a message, they would need to check this option. If you chose that first option which I've mentioned, which is this one, this box, once I refresh this page, this box would immediately appear checked. And if I chose the second option over here, that person would need to uncheck this button over here, this option, to send a message to you, and so on and so on. So it's not a big deal. And then you have a quiz, which is another option that is quite useful. This allows you to ask questions to your visitors. And this might be something, I mean, you may use this, sometimes you even use this to avoid bots from sending spam messages to you. And actually this is an example. You can see this example over here. It seems that they actually put a diagonal bar, and this initially got me a bit confused because I was using this diagonal bar but it wasn't working correctly, and then I discovered that this is not a diagonal bar, but it's simply a bar like this one, a vertical bar. And then you just put your answer over here just like this, and this is how it works, because if you put this diagonal bar over here, it simply won't work well. And then you just want to insert this option and press save, and this is an option that you may want to use to prevent receiving spam, or just, you can even do a quiz of some kind to your visitors that so they can send to you. And this person would need to insert over here Lisbon, of course, so they would be able to send this message to you. And basically then you have reCAPTCHA. I already explained you actually need to integrate this first, this option, so you can use this option inside of your contact form. And then if you want someone to send a file to you, just press this option. You can even also mention the size, the limit size that you want for this file, and this allows your visitors to send a file to you if you want that, as you may see over here. This allows your visitors to send a file, and basically then you have the submit option, which is just the submit button over here. And basically that is how things work over, and I already explained most of this section over here, and I'm just going to save this, refresh this page. And that is how the contact form looks at the moment. So I'm going to explain the last options here. Then you have the mail tab, and the mail tab allows you to decide where you want to receive your messages to. So you can decide where you want to receive when it comes to email addresses. You can change this if you want. Also, you can structure the body of the messages that will be sent to your inbox. You can change this information around. This will be the name of your visitor, the subject line, the email, and you can change this information. I normally don't change much over here. I just leave the standard options. But if you change anything, then just press save, so you can save all of this, the options that you actually changed here. You can also go to this link if you want to get more information about what you can do when it comes to this. But honestly, it's not something that I change much. I just leave the standard options. Then you have messages. These are the messages that will appear depending on the action performance out of your contact form. So once someone sends a message to you, they will be able to see this message appearing. Thank you for your message. It has been sent. And you have different types of messages. You can change the text that actually appears here. Let's say, thanks, I enjoyed receiving your message. And then you just press save, and you can change, you can see each section what exactly are the messages for, and you can change this. Then you have additional settings if you want to put some extra settings. Also, another feature that you might want to check out, just go to this page so you can get more information about this. But when it comes to setting a standard contact form, at this point you already know everything that it takes. I already explained all of the options required. So this is basically all that you need to know when it comes to contact form 7. And I'm just going to do one last test just to try this out, and I'm going to insert my name over here, the email, subject line. Hi there, do you have a website? So I'm going to put over here the website, and then I put over here the content that I want to send, in this case to the owner of this website if I was a visitor, and I would choose a file that I would want to send to the webmaster or the owner of that website. And you can see that now this message appears because I actually changed this previously. So you can change this messages around and play with these options, and you can see that now I have this message over here. That is pretty much all about contact form 7. I hope you enjoy this video. Once again, leave a like and subscribe if you enjoy the content of this video, and also stay tuned with pro tutorials, and bye.